and I come back, right? So we go from that, right? Abysmal, huge black eye for the PlayStation brand to this.
Oh, this game got a 94 on Metacritic, man. Thank you, Robot. You know, this game went from being a tech demo to a full-fledged game, and it got a 94 on Metacritic, man. Contender of Game of the Year, man. I knew we could have depended on that Robot, man, because PlayStation 5 is out here looking bad. But if this game dropped on Nintendo Switch, I more likely would pass, because these ain't the type of games that I like being a pony fan. You know, I'm not really into all these platforms, because when Nintendo do it, it's kiddie games, but when Sony does it, it's Game of the Year contenders.
Wow, bro.
Wow.
Yo, how does a brand go from abysmal, like an abysmal showing in terms of, you know, the games?
How does a game go from being a tech demo, overshadowing all the AAA releases that Sony's had? Now, that's pretty embarrassing if you ask me, man. You guys got to remember, this game was originally a tech demo. Okay. PlayStation is doing so bad that they're relying on tech demos now. Come on, man. Are you serious?
To potential Game of the Year contender. In the same, not even just in the same gen.
Oh my
but
God.
In the same, not even in the same year, but in the same week.
You know, this man's 50 years old getting excited for a platformer. Hey, man, I like these games too. I'm probably more likely going to buy it. I'm happy that this game is scoring well on Metacritic, but hopefully the game could score as well, sell as well when people decide to go out there and buy it. I do think the game is going to do well, considering that it's probably a lower budget game. Platformers are not really that expensive. It probably has some nice high resolution and performance. So that's good. You know, that's a plus for you guys, man. But it's a shame that you guys had to depend on a platformer game to be the best game on the PS5 this year. That's kind of sad to me.
It is bananas, right? That is crazy. You know, it is, it's like when I was talking about the podcast. There's got to be two different people making these decisions. There's got to be someone who's helped formulating the single player.
No, because these games that, if you notice, they don't cost that much money to make. See, that's what you don't understand. Sony's willing to gamble by putting $100, $200 million into online games if it can help them make money concurrently. Last of Us multiplayer, they could have came out and charged $60, $70 for it, but they did it because they wanted a way to monetize the game throughout the years. Like I've said before, ain't nobody gonna buy no homeless man socks for their character. You guys know that. And that's where Sony was like, okay, we got to cancel this. We have to. They could have came up with the online game, sold it to you for $60 to $70, and then we all would have been happy. But they knew that they couldn't monetize a gameplay scheme like that. And that's where the problem started. And that's why the game got canceled. See, so when you guys sit there and say, oh, it's about PlayStation care about their fans. If PlayStation cared so much about you, they would have not canceled these projects. There was no reason for them to cancel Spider-Man Great Web. And there was no reason for them to cancel Last of Us multiplayer just because they couldn't find a way to get concurrent money out of these games. Especially when all the concurrent money that you need is people from paying PlayStation Plus and Premium. Do you get what I'm saying? This is how Xbox do their strategy. They don't care what games you play, as long as you're subscribed to play their games a month. It don't even matter if you play one game out of the plethora of hundreds of games. They don't care, as long as the money's the same. So that excuse as to why Sony canceled Last of Us multiplayer and the Great Web was pretty pathetic. That showed you that they don't care about y'all. That right there showed you that Sony don't care about y'all, because they could have made the money off the subscription service. But they probably said, why fund that? Let's cancel it, because people are going to pay for the subscription service anyway to play games like Grand Theft Auto 6 and Call of Duty. So they did not care. What I'm trying to essentially say, they didn't care about you as a gamer interest. They didn't care about you. So when you guys sit there and say, oh, Microsoft don't care about their demographic, well, I guess Sony didn't care about yours either, because they canceled two of the most ambitious multiplayer games you guys would have had if it wasn't for that concurrent money issue. They wanted to monetize the game. They probably felt that, okay, Concord is probably a little bit more feasible, considering that games like Overwatch are already doing that. You get what I mean? But man, like I said, man, Sony's really, they really need money.
Strategy, and there's got to be someone in PlayStation that's formulating the multiplayer strategy. And whoever it is, I think that's Phil Spencer's brother. That's Paul Spencer. We're going to call that person Paul Spencer. Paul Spencer on PlayStation is formulating the multiplayer strategy and just generally not doing good. There's more misses than hits, and that's
It doesn't matter because this is not going to move the needle. See, that's what you people don't understand. Now, I'm not trying to hate on this game, but this game's not going to fundamentally move the needle. It's going to do well in sales. It's probably going to have Sony want to continue to come up with more sequels. But what does this do for the next generation of gaming for Sony? Okay? Are you guys starting to follow what I'm saying? Gaming is supposed to get bigger and badder. We shouldn't be playing AA games with high resolution. I'm not saying these games are bad. I'm not undermining the quality of this game, guys. All I'm saying is that you people say that you have a PlayStation 6, 7, and 8 in mind. Okay, that's perfectly fine. But if these are the type of games that Sony's wanting to make without having the same big budgets of a Last of Us or Uncharted 4, then what is the point of Sony continuing on with hardware? What is the point? Unless they're just using it for third party for Grand Theft Auto 6 and Call of Duty, because at this point, Sony ain't doing no AAA games themselves.
It's insane, right? Wow, whoever is doing the single player strategy, like single player game is literally hand-holding PlayStation success in 2024.
And that's sad. That's sad because Nintendo has good single player and multiplayer. Microsoft has single player and multiplayer. This is not good. I don't know how you guys think that Sony's in a good standing relying on single player games. There's a reason as to why when the 360 came out, well, I mean, this was going on way before that, but I'm just saying when it popularized it, online was a big pivotal move for the industry. Have you noticed a lot of companies was just adding online? Gears of War, which is crazy, wasn't even originally going to have online multiplayer. They just threw it in the game. And look, it's happened to be one of the most successful things that they've done. Okay? Like, online has been a big push ever since that generation, man. And I don't understand how you think Sony is going to continue to survive off these type of games, because you can't.
Like, Helldivers is the only contributor from the multiplayer aspect, the only contributor.
Which lost 90-something% of its population on PC.
But other than that, it's been bad. But here we go, Astro Bot,
So let me ask you this. For all the people that go out there and buy Astro Bot, you paid $60, $70 for the game. Okay, you finally got it. You played it. Is Sony getting any money from you? Answer the question. Is Sony continuing to get any money from you? You bought the game. You paid for what the game was worth. The game finally got its 5, 7, 8, whatever, 10 million sales. Let's just say hypothetically. Is Sony getting any more money from you? Or do they get more money waiting for games to come to Game Pass Ultimate? $20 a month. 20, 20, 20, 20. By 3 months, they've already paid for the purchase of a new game. And you guys want to sit there and say that subscription. I'm not saying it's a better method. I'm just saying you guys want to sit there and say that the subscription service is not a very good value to the consumers. It's not a good value to Microsoft. Microsoft is losing money in that situation. But I just broke down to you that 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate is like $60, which is equivalent to what you paid for a game, which is a full-fledged product, in comparison to a game that you don't even own. And if you continue to buy Game Pass Ultimate, that's 80. That's 100. That's 120. 140. That adds up. I don't understand what you people don't understand. That adds up, because the problem with Sony is the fact that unless you're buying every single exclusive game, then maybe Astro Until Dawn remake, then maybe Sony's getting a little bit more than they're supposed to. But some gamers are not like that. They'll buy a PS5 and say, I like Call of Duty and Maddens. I do like God of War. And then that's it. That's all they will buy. You know what I'm saying? That's not good, bro. That's not, Sony cannot make money that way.
That is wild. Wild week, crazy, bounce back.
Nah, bro, you're not going to sit there and damage control the situation, because this game is not going to bring the money that Sony needs. That's what you people don't understand. This is why Microsoft and even Nintendo has had a fluctuation of multiplayer adding to most of their games. Mario Bros. Wonder. I mean, come on, bro. Sony got to get with the program. It's about time they start adding for every single player game, like they did during the PS3, and adding some form of multiplayer to it. Oh, Gamester, you don't like single player games. It's not even that. I'm trying to tell you where the industry and the direction of gaming is going. I played a lot of single player games, man. I've had people tell me, oh, you just play online. I see you with no gameplay shorts. That's all you do is play online. Acting like I ain't never played a single player game before, bro. But you people have to understand the market is different. It's changed. You have to evolve what's going on. And Nintendo has done that. Even Nintendo has done that themselves. Every single, the days of, oh, this game don't got a multiplayer, even though it has local co-op. Those days, 3D World now, online. Mario Maker, online. Games that Nintendo normally wouldn't have put online on. They put on Mario Party. They put online for these games because they know people play these games online. Nintendo has more online games from in-house studios than Sony. That is pathetic to me. I don't care what any of you people say. You trying to tell me that Nintendo Switch is better for online than the PlayStation 5? We can't say that back then, because back then they had the SOCOM, the MAG, the Resistance. They was always under Microsoft, but still, Sony was still pretty comparable there. You guys got overshadowed by Nintendo. That is pathetic. I don't care what any of you people say. When it comes to the online space, it goes Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony is dead last. Sony is dead last, man. When it comes to in-house studios, Sony is literally relying on third-party, bro, more than anybody. Even Microsoft is not relying on third-party like that. But Sony is.
Game wins Game of the Year. Oh, my God, that is crazy, right? Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But I'm not going to hype it or Game of the Year because, platforms of this type might have a challenge. It could. I don't know. I honestly can't tell. I'm not even going to cap. I don't know. 94, Metacritic acclaim. A lot of the judges of Game of the Years overshadowed Concord, right? But you know what's crazy? No one's going to say that, though. No one's going to say Astro Bot overshadowed Concord now. Concord flopped. People moved on. Within the same week, boom. You got your Game of the Year contender. Nope. You're still gonna...
Nobody's going to care because you're not understanding. Just because this game did well doesn't necessarily mean that this is the direction that Sony wants to go to. This is something they worked on. I think Sony's making a decent amount of money. I got to see the sales, of course, and I got to know what type of budget they spent. I don't think they put that much money in the game. They usually don't have to in platformers. But like I said, I'm not going to undermine the quality, because I actually wanted to play it myself, to undermine the quality of the game. All I'm saying, guys, that this is not the direction that Sony wants you to go. Sony can't afford to take losses on their games. I mean, Last of Us multiplayer and Spider-Man Great Web shouldn't have been canceled, considering that you pay for PlayStation Plus. That was one reason as to why those games should have been canceled. But Sony wanted to go the extra mile. Sony wanted to charge you $60. Sony also wanted to put microtransactions. Sony also wanted to charge you to play it through PlayStation Plus. That is the problem right there. It's the fact that Sony cannot take no losses and no regards. Y'all can sit there and say, oh, Microsoft, you take losses. That's good. That's good that Microsoft can take losses and push forward because they have the money to. Sony don't have the money. That's why Concord came out with a $40 price tag. Microsoft's like, okay, yeah, we taking a loss if we come out with Overwatch 2 and make the game free. But I guarantee we'll make that money back with the microtransactions, They were that confident with their own games. Sony's not confident. They got a nickel and dime, $40 here, $40 for them socks and them homeless T-shirts with burger stains on it. And we got to have you guys pay for the PlayStation Plus. Why am I doing this on console if PC gamers ain't dealing with the same thing? You guys are paying for an inferior experience, and y'all probably about to say, well, GameStop, y'all do that on AirPod, though. You see? And I have a theory. Microsoft is going to get rid of paying for gold. They're already going to get rid of it. Y'all like, how you know this? They're going to get rid of it. Because one, they have the demographic of the PC audience. And two, Microsoft is built. Like, remember when these ponies was getting mad that Microsoft changed the Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Live Gold to Game Pass Core. Now, Game Pass Core still has the same rudiments of Xbox Live Gold, except now you get access to a certain amount of games. See, what you people don't understand, that Microsoft has completely shifted the vision of service and subscriptions. People don't buy Game Pass Ultimate. I mean, you do get gold in it, but people mostly buy it because of the games that are included. Game Pass Ultimate. It's not even about the gold anymore. So Microsoft knows that, and especially the reason why they're doing this, guys, is because of the free-to-plays. People are tired of paying to play certain games. So Microsoft says, okay, we understand that. We still have it. It's still somewhat there. But when you buy Xbox Live Game Pass Ultimate, yes, the gold is included, but you're really getting it just for the games alone. Okay? Microsoft is trying to completely weed out paid online multiplayer because as of right now, it doesn't really matter. Especially when you got all these free-to-plays that are coming out, it doesn't matter anymore. And that's why people subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate, because they understand that even on PC, there's free online. And Microsoft is going to carry that within their console gaming division. It's just right now, it's not, like I said, it's not right now. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen right now. It's not going to happen overnight. So when I say things, you're like, oh, it didn't happen right away. Like I said, listen to what I'm saying, and then look a few years down the future, and you will see where I'm coming from. But for Sony, they need a nickel and dime people for everything. They took a free-to-play game, made you pay for, canceled a good multiplayer game because they couldn't monetize the game from the store inside with homeless wristbands and socks. Like, I mean, this is what y'all doing? Like, this is crazy.
Be people dwelling on Concord, right? But those are the haters. Those are the fanboys.
So people hating on Concord is haters and fanboys? Bro, even PlayStation gamers are hating on that game.
Those are the Xbox no-huggers, you know.
Oh, here we go. Hey, guys, look at that. I'm an Xbox fanboy. Look at me. Look. I got my PlayStation 5 controller. Huh? What you mean? I'm an Xbox fanboy? What?
But it is what it is. But let me know what you think. Did you expect? I did not expect Astro Bot to be this bitch hit. The game is good.
I kind of had a feeling it would. I really think the game looked very good, personally. I think a lot of people seen the trailers. This is no surprise to me, man. I really don't understand why you think that this game wouldn't have done as well. I've seen a lot of people say this is the only game that I'm looking forward to on PlayStation 5.
The one that was packed in with the PlayStation 5.
Talk about the tech demo.
It was a good game. I think it was rated at 83. I'm like, yeah. This, though, I don't know what more they did to this game. Crazy. Bounce back of the year. Wow. And it's single player. Civil War's begun.
Single player is not going to save Sony. I don't care what any of you PlayStation fanboys are saying. It's not going to save Sony, because if it was going to save Sony, then why did they say to you that they got about 10 to 12 live service and subscription games that they're willing to work on? This is not going to save Sony. So if you think that by supporting these single player games, that's going to save Sony, it's not. I'm going to tell you, guys want to save Sony? I could tell you how you can save Sony. Buy your live service and subscriptions. Buy those games. I don't like those games. I like Call of Duty. I like Fortnite. Well, then you can say goodbye to Sony. If you don't support these online, I'm not saying you have to. I don't want to support them. Trust me, they're garbage. I get it. But if you want to see Sony stay afloat in the inevitable future, you have to start supporting them for their own intellectual properties and stop supporting Xbox games. That's why I don't care what people are like, Xbox game coming on PS5. I laugh at these fools. You know why I laugh at them? Because you're destroying your own platform. That's what you're doing. Every time you pick up an Xbox game and you pay to play an Xbox game, you're giving Microsoft money. In-game and Sea of Thieves. Oh, let me get my little pirate with the wooden peg on his leg. Well, there you go, Microsoft. Calculating that money off you PlayStation dummies. Or you got games like Helldivers 2 losing 90% of its population. Black Myth Wukong doing better on PC than it's doing on PlayStation. This is the problem. You feel me? And Microsoft is capitalizing on it. They're capitalizing on it, and rightfully so, because they understand that Sony is no competition. Y'all never was. Microsoft has proved time and time again that PlayStation was never competition. The only difference is they used you. That's what you PlayStation fanboys don't understand. Microsoft kept you afloat. Y'all got comfortable. Microsoft could have always took you out, but they weren't ready yet. They needed a few acquisitions because of the vision that they were trying to push with live service and subscriptions. And now that vision is there, now they're going out there, if you notice, Bethesda and Activision. And they got more that they want. So by that time, and I still think Microsoft will continue to put games on PS5. Like I said, guys, it's only feasible, man. Like I said, Microsoft already sees the writing in the wall. It's already over for PlayStation 5. It's already over. You know what I'm saying? I think I am hearing that Sony is thinking, the keyword, thinking about a PlayStation 6, but as of right now, they're afraid. Sony's afraid to drop the PlayStation 6, and if they do, the PlayStation 6 will be Sony's last gaming console, because I think what's going to end up happening, they're going to have the PS5, Grand Theft Auto 6, and then, of course, Rockstar are going to milk it again by saying, hey, we got Grand Theft Auto 6 on the PS6, and that's going to get people to buy the PlayStation 6, of course, especially if they say if it's cross-save and all that. And it's sad. If you think about it, it's sad that third party is saving PlayStation. Not even their own games. Third party. So what's going to end up happening, GTA 6 is probably going to get ported to the PlayStation 6. People are automatically going to upgrade just for that alone. If it's better graphics, better resolutions, or whatever the case is, they're going to do that automatically. It might even be 60 FPS on there. You see the angles that I'm trying to say? So by that point, so once GTA 6 drops on the PlayStation 6, it's over. Because Sony's going to get their money. For all the people that buy PlayStation Plus to play Grand Theft Auto 6 on their platform, they're going to get that money every year. But you're going to start seeing less and less and less Sony games. And you're going to start seeing more lower budget games for them, which you've already currently seen. And that's what's going to happen with Sony. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. And like I said, take care. Peace out.